Welcome to the 40th episode of the Normie podcast. This is going to be our first episode of 2024 in which we review all our favorite movies from 2023. We'll be going through our top 10 from 10 down to 1, and each time we will try and guess the other's top 10 and see who knows the other better. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get into it. All right, here we go. So I am going to guess first what you put as your 10th favorite movie of the year. Trying to remember all the stuff we've watched. I am going to say Elemental.
Not in that spot.
It's on the list. All right. And what would you like to guess?
RMN.
It is not in that spot.
Okay.
All right. So now we will go through and reveal what is on our list. So what is actually your 10th?
My number 10 movie of this year is The Marvels.
Oh.
I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun. I told people about it. It's one of the only movies I rated over a 5.
Yeah, the difference in making this list, she struggled to find things over a 5. I struggled to find things under a 7.
Yeah.
It shows the different way we rate movies. But yeah, The Marvels was fun. I cannot believe the number of people I've seen put it in their worst movies of the year. Like, it's just not. You can forget about it. You cannot like it. But it is not one of the worst made movies of the year.
Was it a little poorly structured? Maybe. But was it fun?
But
yeah.
There were way worse movies out there this year.
Yeah, and I liked it better than the other Marvel movie we saw this year, Guardians of the Galaxy one. But yeah, The Marvels, directed by Nia DaCosta, my number 10. All
right. And for me, my number 10 is Anatomy of a Fall, directed by Justine Triet. It is out of France. And I just found this to be a really gripping drama. I really enjoyed the development and the character work, and just how things went. I recommend this to anybody who likes a slow burn character piece. It has a lot to say about relationships and how they impact the people around you. And yeah, so I really liked Anatomy of a Fall. I know you didn't.
Nope, that's probably on one of my worst movies of the year.
Yeah. All right, so that is our 10. We'll head into 9.
All right, moving on to number 9. My guess for your number 9 movie of the year is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Not on the list.
Not on the list? You love that movie.
Yeah, it made my honorable mentions. I will say this is number probably 11 or 12 of the year for me. It just...
That is genuinely surprising. Like, I
really do love this movie, but yeah, I think it's just one, like, it wasn't artistic. Like, it didn't necessarily stand alone on its artistic merit. And then of the just like fun kind of comedic, heartwarming movies we watched, there were a few more I liked better. Apologies for our cat, as with every week. And so like, yeah, I definitely recommend this to people, and I want to watch it again someday, especially when, we have kids. But yeah, it just didn't quite crack that top 10 in that it did everything really well, but nothing exceptional.
Okay.
If that makes sense. But yeah, it is really close. I can see why you guessed that. All right, for you, I am going to guess Rye Lane.
Not on the list.
Not on the list.
It hits my honorable mentions. It's in there. I only had 6 honorable mentions this year, and it hits in that one, but it didn't quite make it to my top 10 just because it's not as rewatchable as some other movies we had this year.
It was in my honorable mentions as well. I really like that movie, but yeah, I can see why it didn't quite hit your top 10. I just thought there weren't enough good movies for you this year. That may be. But all right, my actual number 9. They Cloned Tyrone.
Oh, yeah, you really liked that one.
It doesn't quite come together in the end, which is why it's so low down on this list. But the first 90% of that movie, I loved it. I had so much fun. I recommended this to a bunch of people. I think it kind of just fills that slot of a movie I wasn't expecting to be as good as it was, and was a complete surprise in such a good way for me.
Fair enough.
And that is directed by Jewel Taylor.
My actual number 9 is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Very nice, very nice.
That's directed by Kelly Freeman Craig. It hasn't been one that we've rewatched at all this year, so I guess it's not really fair for me to say that other ones are not rewatchable, but when we walked out of it, we called everyone we knew and told them to go watch it, and it's definitely one that, like, we'll watch with our kids, and I just really enjoyed it, so it's my number 9.
I do not fault that at all. That is a really good movie. I should have metagamed and guessed what you guessed.
I tricked you.
That you did. All right, so for number 8, I am going to roll it back and guess Elemental again.
No.
Oh my gosh, it's higher? That's crazy. That's like
when I thought about all of them again, that's like one of the ones that I really want to watch again.
Wow.
And the fact that the couple in it is exactly us made me really rate it high.
All right. Wow, I did not expect it to make it up that high, so now I've wasted a lot of guesses.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll it back and do RMN for your 8.
Also no.
Really? Higher? Gosh, that movie sucked.
No, it's so good. You'll see how high I rated it.
Oh, God.
Okay, what was your actual number 8?
My actual number 8 is Next Goal Wins.
Whoa, how fun.
Yeah, I really liked that. I mean, I recommended it to my grandmother. I thought it was really funny. I really enjoyed it, and it's one that I would definitely rewatch.
Yeah, and shout out Dave Fane, my old teacher, who was one of the supporting characters in that movie.
Yeah, and was the funniest one, really.
He was really great. Yeah, lovely man. Yeah, that's a good shout. I can see that. For me, number 8 came in as Saltburn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a recent watch, but I really liked it. Barry Keoghan was exceptional, directed by Emerald Fennell, and she masterful behind the camera. I really liked a lot of this movie. Why it's not higher is I don't know that it's one I'm going to rewatch a lot. It's one I'll recommend to select people, and it's one that if I'm going to watch it again, I'm not upset, but I'm not excited about my next watch.
I will give something away to you and say that it's not on my list, but it is in my honorable mentions.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, for your number 7, I'm going to guess When Evil Lurks.
On the list.
On the list.
Not number 7.
Okay, higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
For you, I am gonna... Do I go Elemental again? I'm gonna go with The Holdovers.
On the list.
Ooh, higher. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I love that movie.
All right. My actual number 7. This might come as a little bit of a surprise. Poor Things, directed by my favorite director, Yorgos Lanthimos.
Number 7?
Number 7. As I looked at other movies this year, there were other ones that I want to watch again more.
That's really surprising to me.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
He's my favorite director of all time. I love everything he does, and I love this movie. But it just, I don't know, like, it didn't connect with me the same way as some of his previous. It was more in the vein of The Favorite than of a Lobster or Killing of the Sacred Deer. Not necessarily a bad thing. It just means it's not necessarily as appealing to me as other people. If that's fair.
That's fair. My number 7 movie of the year was Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Nice.
I loved that movie. I thought it was really fun. We saw it in theaters like 2 or 3 times because we went
again with your grandma.
Yeah, and I loved it. And we make jokes and quote about this one part where Haley Atwell gets thrown across the train like every single day.
That is probably top moment of the year. Is Haley Atwell getting thrown across a train.
And that one was directed by a billion people, including J.J. Abrams. I thought that's why, I think it's going to be on your list, because you said that one of yours was directed by a bunch of people, and when I pulled that one up...
Maybe. We'll see.
All right.
My guess for number 6. Man, do I... Elemental or Poor Things is what I'm between. I'm going Elemental again.
Woo, 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 woo! Number 6 for me was Elemental. We when we walked out of that one, we agreed it was not one of Pixar's best, but for me, Pixar movies are already incredible, so even if it's not like the best one I've ever seen by them, I loved all of it. Like, I really just, it was so funny and so cute, and the more I think back on it, the more I like it, and the more I want to rewatch it. So, number 6 for me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna necessarily fight aggressively back against that. I get it. I just, for me, it was lacking in some regards, and I would rewatch it, but I'm not excited. Like, I'm not chomping at the bit to rewatch it.
I'm itching to
let's
rewatch
watch it tonight, then.
Okay.
And who directed that one?
That one's directed by Peter Sohn.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so my actual number 6.
Did I guess?
No. So you should maybe guess.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess. See, I'm trying to guess if I want to put RMN back on my guess list.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll re-guess RMN.
Got it right.
Okay. Yeah, that one was not good.
Yeah, I really liked this movie. Again, maybe the ending isn't perfect, but there is some amazing moments in it for me, and I really found the story gripping of this small town in Romania dealing with the European Union and migrant workers and refugees, and just how all of that in the modern world works, and the complexity of that, and that nobody is a hero and nobody is an outright villain. Everybody...
The main guy was certainly a villain. He sucked.
Yeah, but, like, you know, he still had moments where he was redeemable or did good things and did bad things, and so did everybody. And I found this to be a really timely and human story that I recommend to a lot of people. And that is directed by Christian Mungian, I believe.
Okay. For number 5.
Top 5 of the year.
I'm gonna guess Barbie.
On the list.
Okay. All right.
I am going to guess When Evil Lurks.
Yes!
Boom!
That movie is so good. I loved it. It's one of the top horror movies. It's the top horror movie of the year for sure. And I would highly recommend it to other people.
And you want to know how good it is? It's
yours
also
too?
my number 5
I was going to
movie of
guess
the
it,
year.
but I'd already guessed one that I had put in that spot, so I didn't want to, like, do it again in case.
Yeah, no, it's directed by Demian Rugna out of Argentina. And it surprised me. I was not the most excited to go into this movie. I don't love horror movies. It's well documented on this channel. But this one is a character drama first, with some of the most horrific gore moments I have ever seen. And it's punctuated by these moments that push the characters further along in the story, as opposed to just violence for the sake of violence. I really, really enjoyed this movie. And highly recommend it to anyone who can stomach the gore.
Yeah.
All right, so number 4, we both think we now know the final 4 for each other. It's just about what order, and I'm kind of between 2 for this number 4 slot. Whichever one it isn't, I think I'm going to guess the other for number 3. I'm going to guess Poor Things.
On the list, but not in that spot.
Higher. Wow, okay. All right.
For you, I'm gonna guess Barbie is number 4.
It's on the list.
You put Barbie higher? That
Yeah.
surprises me, because there's one that I really think would be higher than that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my actual 4th place one is The Holdovers.
Okay.
I really loved it, but there's ones I'd rewatch more than that. That's like my Christmas movie rewatch, but
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Christmas person, so.
No, I think that's fair. That's directed by Alexander Payne. For me, my actual number 4 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I knew it was on the list. Ugh.
Yeah, that's directed by Joaquim Dos Santos, Kent Power, and Justin Thompson. That's the one I said, oh, that's a lot of directors.
Yeah, well, that surprises me, because you literally, like, when we watched it, you were like, this is the best movie I've ever seen.
I still think visually it is one of the most stunning movies of all time. That being said, I don't know that it's as rewatchable, just in that it ends on such an aggressive cliffhanger that I want to see the next one, but I don't necessarily want to watch this one again without knowing how it concludes, because it leaves you hanging. So once the third comes out, this might move up this list, and if someone in 2 years asks me to go back and re-rank my top 10 of this year, it may move up. But because I don't know how it concludes and it is so dependent on the future, I put it a little bit lower to hedge my bets, if that makes sense.
Makes sense. Okay, for our number 3 movie of the year, there's no way that you like Barbie more than The Holdovers after what we've talked about, so I'm going to have to put Barbie at number 3.
Yes, Barbie is number 3, directed by Greta Gerwig. Great movie.
Phenomenal.
Love it dearly.
Yep.
Very fun. Very just the music. It's one that I liked coming out of the theater quite a bit, but it's grown on me. We have since rewatched it, and it's funnier on a second viewing. The music sticks in my head all the time. I quote it a lot. Like, it's becoming a fixture of my movie dialogue. Like, I reference it all the time. And again, unlike Spider-Verse, it's the entire movie. And so therefore, I put it just above. But those two, for me, were very neck and neck. And these next two were the only two, to give you a little bit of a hint, that I was like, these are guaranteed top of the year. And I think you know exactly which.
Of course, I know what two they are.
But yeah, okay. So for you, number 3.
I think you're going to be surprised.
I'm going to go Bottoms.
Yeah!
Boom! Thank you for saying you're going to be surprised. I almost guessed Poor Things again, but I do think you, on rewatching Bottoms, another one we rewatched, you were not quite as in love with it.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. It's directed by Emma Seligman, and it's so funny, and it's so cute, and I will rewatch it a lot. It just doesn't quite scratch the itch that some of the others this year did for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I really liked Bottoms. It's a really great, funny movie, but I am surprised in that one of my favorite directors actually made your top 2 movies of the year when, it's announced Yorgos Lanthimos is directing a absurdist Frankenstein tale with Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo. That's not the type of movie I would immediately put down, but having watched it, I get why it connected so much with you. All right, down to the final 2.
And they're both basically the same movie in
Poor
different
Things or
fonts.
Barbie, R-rated or PG-13. Which did you like the slightly more in-your-face tone of Poor Things, or did you like the whimsical, fun nature of Barbie? If you put a Yorgos Lanthimos movie as your number 1 movie of the year, I would have to rethink everything in my life.
You're going to have to marry me faster.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Poor Things is your number 2.
That is correct. Poor Things is my number 2 movie of the year. I thought it was beautiful. I love the message behind it. In this, the year of the Barbie movie,
In this, the year of the Poor Things movie.
I am all for movies about female empowerment, and it was really impactful to me, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my top 10. It could easily go higher on rewatch. I think it's one. Some of these movies that I ranked higher, I will be slower to recommend to people because they're more niche in what you would like. I think Poor Things is a great, almost universal story that if you are old enough to watch it, you should give it a chance because it has some really great things to say and it says them beautifully. And Emma Stone gives a career performance for me, as does Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
To quote him, "Ow." And it's one of the funniest moments of the year.
Yeah. And then for you, it's tough because it's like, did you go funny or meaningful? Because it's either Bottoms or Holdovers. And
Possible. Did I throw in a rogue shout?
If you threw in any of your weird little movies that have no impact, I'm going to punch you. I'm going to say you did Bottoms is number 2.
I put Bottoms number 2.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
and
we've already talked about it a bit. On rewatch, this one held up for me. I love movies that are just big swings that you didn't see coming. Again, another movie I was not the most excited about going to see, but I'm so glad we gave it the chance and that we went. It's so funny. It has some of my favorite moments from the year throughout. It is consistently hilarious. Ayo Edebiri is a
so funny.
Top person to watch in the coming years. She is genuinely phenomenal in this movie. And Rachel Sennett also does a great job. Marshawn Lynch is really funny. The supporting cast and characters are great. It just is an amazing movie.
Yeah. You're a black Republican, but you're still the smartest one here.
Exactly.
All right, for your number 1 movie of the year, if I'm wrong on this, we're breaking up. It's The Holdovers.
It is The Holdovers. Yeah, Alexander Payne knocks it out of the park. Paul Giamatti, best performance possibly of a quite distinguished career. It is just...
It's funny, it's touching, it's beautiful, it's sad, it's everything.
Artistically made. Like, it ticks all my boxes.
Yeah, it's in my top 10 for a reason.
Yeah, it's like, as I was going through this, there were kind of, generally it went one of two ways. I had so much fun watching this and I want to rewatch it, or this was so artistically and narratively important that I've got to put it in my top 10. This did both. You know, it's the only movie of the year that I found endlessly enjoyable to watch, but also brought a lot to the table, has things to say, is made with real craft and skill behind the camera. And I not only are we going to watch this pretty much every year at the holidays, I could see myself watching this, go, oh, it's Christmas in July, let's watch The Holdovers, like just finding any excuse to put this movie on again. It is the only movie of the year that I would truly consider putting in like my top movies of all time.
That's fair.
Whereas, Bottoms is top comedies of all time, but not top movies. The Holdovers truly did it for me. And that leaves for you, I'm going to guess Infinity Pool.
Oh, so funny. Barbie. When we walked out of Barbie, I said it was a 9. It was not quite there for me, but I thought about Barbie every single day until we finally rewatched it, and upon rewatch, it crossed over all other movies for me for the year. It's meaningful. It's so funny. The music is there. The costuming is great. Like, every single ounce of that movie is just, it hits for me. Even the weird Chevy commercial right in the middle of it. I love that movie, and I will rewatch it as often as I can until I die.
Yeah, I think Greta Gerwig, I love all 3 of her movies. I know this is the first time you've liked one of her movies, but genuinely one of the most talented directors out there, and whatever she does next, I don't care if she announces something crazy like doing a Barbie movie following up Little Women. Like, what? I will be there. And the fact, like, the first trailer for this is a spoof on 2001: A Space Odyssey, like, how does this exist? Why does this exist? I'm so glad it exists. It is a great movie.
Yeah, and I think, especially in this day and age, the message is really important, which is also why my top 2 movies are about female empowerment.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, that is our top 10 movies of the year.
All right, so Everett, big winner over here, got 5 of mine correct. I ended up with just 4 correct, which was kind of a given for the last 3. But yeah, this has been fun, guessing each other's movies this year, and I'm excited to see what 2024 holds.
Yeah, we are planning to continue this format of 2 movies a week going into 2024. And we hope you come along for the journey. So if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe on YouTube, or give us a 5-star review on an audio platform.
I'm also gonna throw this in before I do my normal outro. We will be seeing Iron Claw coming up this week, and so if that is your favorite movie of 2023, we just have not seen it yet, so there is a chance it could encroach on our top 10, and we will let you know next week.
That being said, we did watch over 70 new movies this year.
Yeah,
so
we're doing our best.
We did as much as we could.
But yeah, if you want to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Nerd and Normie, it really helps, and make sure you tune in every Monday for a new episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.